welcome back everybody. In the last video, we added basic movement to our XR setup and we created a very simple floor. In this video, we're going to add decent looking VR hands as well as a grab interaction, and to stage that grab interaction, we're going to add a few more props to our scene. To get started, I wanted to update our floor because I was thinking about it and I figured out what they were doing and why they left these kind of holes in the tile. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just open up the prefab. And what's cool about making prefabs is that I can just edit one and all of them will be fixed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my floor mesh. I'm going to duplicate it. Then I'm going to go into transform and I'm going to unlink the scales. And so what this little chain link does is this little chain link right here, it locks it so that if you type in like 2.0 for X, they all change to 2.0. So we don't want that right now. So I'm going to break this link and I'm going to make this a negative 1.0 to effectively flip it around its axis. So now you'll notice we have these two tiles that are even with each other and the colors are different. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. So I can just save this and go back to my text SR toolkit, and all but one of them is fixed, which I think it's the original one that is not a prefab. So you learned your lesson there. Make sure you just always use the prefabs. So I'll go ahead and I'll just duplicate another piece of floor and move it into place. And we are all set up. Our floor is looking quite a bit cleaner already from just a minor touch-up. All right, so let's go ahead and add the hands. The hands are yet another thing that the XR Toolkit does for us. So we're in our add-ons folder. We go into Godot XR Tools, and then we'll look for hands. And inside hands, they have several other folders, but we're looking for scenes. So I'm going to open up scenes, and I'm just going to do the low poly, and we're just going to keep it simple. I'm just going to do the left-hand low.tscn. Some of these have like other physics stuff that they got going on. This is more just for beginners, so we're just going to go with the simple one for now. And we'll go with the left hand. And then we will go for the right-hand low on the right hand. And now I can delete these mesh instance 3Ds because that's just the sphere that's rendering in front of the hand. And I'll save my scene and run it. And that's really it. And if you input some controls, you'll see that they're actually all set up for you with some defaults. So you can have fun with that if you wanted to test it out in your headset. Now that we've got some hands, it's time to add some simple interactables. Unfortunately, the asset pack we downloaded doesn't have any assets that are good enough to interact with in VR. They're all kind of designed for farther away viewing or like as background objects, but you can see if we put out this spread display, this is all one model, so you'd have to put it through Blender and do some post-processing before you could make anything interactable with this. So we'll just use some simple primitive shapes and make some props that we can then make interactable. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these objects I've placed. And instead what we're going to do is we're just going to right-click the environment. I'll add a child node, and I will call it, well, I'm going to create a node of type node 3D, and I'm going to rename it to props. Inside of props, I will go ahead and add a child node. I will make it of type static body 3D. And then, as usual, we'll fill in the collision shape 3D. And we'll assign a shape to this. So I'm going to give it a
box shape, and we can see the shape right here. And under the static body 3D, I'm also going to add a mesh instance 3D, and we'll also make that a box mesh. So what this is going to do is it just gives us a nice little box that we can use as a shelf to pick things up off of. So we'll go ahead, save it, run it, and I guess the only thing I'm testing for here is just that I can collide with it and it blocks me from moving. So, okay, can't move around it. So, looks pretty good. So before we make the ball, let's go over just kind of how it works. This is all straight from the documentation, but I'll just explain it here as well. We'll have two different kinds of nodes that work together to create our ball that we can pick up. We will attach a pickup function to the left and right controllers, and then we will also make anything that you want to pick up pickable within your scene. So we will create a pickable ball, and we will also attach a pickup function to the left and right controllers. So we will start with the pickable ball. So in our file system, we're just going to look for Assets, Godot XR Tools, and we'll scroll down to Objects. We'll scroll past Climbable and Hand Pose down to pickable.tscn. So what we'll do is we'll just grab that, drop it right into our props folder, and now we've got a pickable object. Let's go ahead and right click. We will make it local. And what that's going to do is it's going to break its association to the pickable scene file, and this is now just a local subtree that exists within our node tree. So we can see it's got a collision shape. Let's go ahead and assign that to a sphere, and we'll make the sphere 0.05 meters in radius. We'll grab the pickable object, don't grab the collision shape, grab the entire object, and we'll just move it right up on top of the table. And we'll add a child node of the pickable object, and we will make it a mesh instance 3D. And for the mesh, we will add a sphere mesh, and we'll make that the same size as our collision shape. So I'll go 0.05 radius, and for height, we'll say 0.1. And that's it. That should be good enough for a pickable. So let's just test that and make sure it collides correctly with the table. Alright, looks good. Looks like it's sitting on a table. So let's go ahead and move on to our pickup function so that we can pick this up. The pickup function is even easier than the pickable. All we have to do is go into our add-ons folder here that is provided in the XR Toolkit. We'll look for the function subfolder, and in the function subfolder there is a function pickup.tscn. So all we have to do is add that to both controllers and we should be good to go. So just dragging it under each controller. And I believe the default configuration should just work out of the box. So we'll go ahead, save it, and we'll give it a quick test to make sure we can pick up these pickables. So again, I'm going to hold Q and move my mouse to control my hand while I'm in the simulator. And while I'm holding Q, I should be able to right click and grab the ball. And as you can see, my hand looks a little bit weird, but I have successfully grabbed the ball. I can also throw it. And it looks pretty good. That's it for this video. If you hang around for the next one, we will be adding a bounce function to our ball to extend the pickable framework. It's going to be a little bit more complicated, but I think you guys are ready for it. If you like the channel, make sure to check out our game, Shipwreck Discovery. It's going to be coming to Steam Early Access this November. It's kind of an educational sandbox. You can learn about fish and real shipwrecks in Destin, Florida. See you next time.